Thomas, 21 John Buckley, and 27 the captain Lewis Travis. On the bench for Rovers this evening is 34 Joe Hilton, 6 Tyler Morton, 17 Hayden Carter, 19 Ryan Hedges, 29 Jack Vale, 30 Jake Garrett, and 33 is Ash Phillips.
What a fucking goal! Come on!
Putting the Rovers into the lead, number 10, Tyree Stoner!
They were the only one who was scoring, didn't it? Lovely ball that from Costello, weren't it?
Good touch on that.
Yeah, always feet.
Blackpool substitution replacing number 9 Jelly Yates as 19 Shane Lafford.
2-0. That would have been in. That would have been it when. Is it Gallagher away? Come on. Come on. Nuts and cunts, funny! Blackburn Rovers! Now, come on!
The Rovers substitution replacing number 8 Sam Schmonitz and 9 Sam Gallagher are 6 Tyler Morton and 29 Jack Vale.
scene?
Yeah. Makes him coffee. He's beautiful and stewarded.
Absolute gangster, isn't it?
So, well and truly back to winning ways for Rovers. 2 wins in 2 now. 2 back-to-back home games. And, yeah, 6 points. Not a classic by any means. I think first half we made life difficult for ourselves. And just to say right off the bat, I think that is the worst team that has come to Ewood this season. Blackpool had absolutely nothing. You know, the amount of times they put the ball out of play, the keeper must have done it at least 10 times the entire match. Never mind all the rest of their players constantly putting the ball out of play. But from a Rovers perspective, I think first half we made it difficult for ourselves. Blackpool applied absolutely no pressure in the first half at 0-0. Can you blame them? No. Getting a point away at Ewood for a team that's down there would be a decent point. Never mind, obviously, with it being a Lancashire derby. So, yeah, really poor from them and really poor from ourselves, really. But the second half, yet again, just like against Swansea, was like miles better than the first half, wasn't it? You know, come out, applied the pressure, and looked a lot better. Obviously, the goal come in the first half. You know, a brilliant sequence of play, really. Costello does really well, taking the ball, getting away from his man, finding the pass for Thomas, controls the ball brilliantly, and puts in a brilliant ball for Dolan, who, is it a half volley, a volley? Volleys it in, or half volleys it in anyway, and it's a superb finish, and he looked well up for it today, did Dolan. You know, there were a few fans getting on his back with a few bits of... a few bits of trickery and flair that weren't really needed when we were 1-0 up. You know, when you're 1-0 up, there's certain things you shouldn't be doing in some areas. But he is that type of player. He brings something different to the table. And that is why we love him, because he is the player who gets you on the edge of your seat. He is the player who is not afraid to try things, and, you know, he may fail, but also he's also the player who, when it pulls it off, those are the sort of moments that can win you games. And he just looked up for it today. He's looked up for it for a while now, and I was saying to one of my mates, I reckon he could be the man to potentially step up once Diaz leaves, because I don't think Gallagher's got it in him. You know, I don't think for 1 second I can see Dolan getting 20 goals a season. I don't think he's that type of player, but to be our star man and step up, him and Dak next season. Speaking of Gallagher, just woeful today. You know, I saw a comment on Twitter saying it's a disgrace, essentially, that he is one of our top earners. He is absolutely robbing the living, and whoever, you know, gave him that contract from our side of things needs firing. And yeah, Gallagher should definitely be thankful he has a very good agent by the looks of things, because yeah, I can't understand how a player who, since we signed permanently, has underperformed every season, hasn't even hit double figures in goals, is somehow one of our top earners. And today, you know, there was one shot in particular where he shoots from right of the edge of the box, and it's that bad. It ends up being a pass for Dolan. You know, it's not even remotely on target, and it's, you know, at the end of the day, he's got nothing to his game. He's got not blessed with pace like an Armstrong. He's not good in the air. He's not physical. He's not a particularly good finisher. He's not like he's lethal in front of goal. I just struggle to understand how he gets a game and why we value him so much. I genuinely don't think he'd get 20 goals in League Two. I genuinely don't think he'd get 15 goals in League One. You know, and considering he doesn't even break 10 in this league, it just shows what kind of player he is. But yeah, a much needed result, especially after dropping points to Wigan, Bristol, Rotherham. We needed these results, and it puts us back in fourth now. A good spot to be in, for sure. And we're looking up again. You know, it's going to be a tough game on Saturday. It's Ainsworth's first game in charge of QPR. But let's go there, just give a good account of ourselves. Let's try and get a point at the very least. Because QPR are struggling, but, you know, it's typical, isn't it? We always seem to face managers as soon as they've come in, have that new manager bounce. Which is just typical. But I believe when Ainsworth was in the Championship with Wickham, I think we did the double over him. We definitely did him 5-0, or was it 5-1? We definitely did him by a good few goals anyway in the first game of the season. I believe it was the first game of the season. That was the season Dolan broke onto the scene. He got a goal or two that day. Can't remember how the away fixture went, in all honesty, but yeah, I think we don't have a bad record against Ainsworth anyway. So let's hope for the best. On to that one. And then the next home game is Sheffield United at home, which is an early kick-off and should be an interesting one, to say the least. If we can find ourselves with a bit of form heading into that, it should be an interesting encounter. But, you know, if we're not firing at 100%, you know, there's not a chance we get anything from the game, unfortunately. You know, I went to Bramwell Lane early in the season. We were absolutely outclassed that day. And that is what happens, unfortunately, when you've got a Premier League squad in this league. We've got to be on our very best at home if we do want to give them a good game. I can see it going a bit like how Bournemouth at home went though last season, just the difference in class. So, I'm going to end it there because I've been up since 4:45. Apologies for yawning, but yeah, I'm absolutely shattered. Time to head off to bed. But yeah, cheers for watching, guys. Make sure to obviously leave your comments, leave your likes, and yeah, I hope you stay up Blackpool. My uncle's a Blackpool fan. I love going to Bloomfield Road away. You know, it's I don't really class it as a rivalry between us. We know we've had joint protests in the past about the Oystons and the Venkies. I think there's a good atmosphere between us, and I think, you know, we both have a common hatred for Preston, more so you than us, but neither of us like Preston, and, you know, I think we should seek confinement with that. But yeah, hopefully you stay up, but to be honest, from what I've seen today, I would have to say you're going down, unless something drastic changes. But yeah, it was embarrassing today at times, to be honest with you. Some of the stuff you were doing, just kicking the ball out of play, God knows how many times, long balls over the top, going straight out for a goal kick. Just clueless, really, and God knows how many times the ball would go out for a throw-in way up the pitch because it's a misplaced pass that was meant for a winger. Yeah, not ideal at all. McCarthy's going to have to work some wonders there. But there's a reason why he's been out of work for so long. Is he the right man? I guess time will tell. But yeah, on to QPR away. Hopefully can keep our position in the top 6. And I'll try and obviously bring a reaction for that video, for that game rather, this weekend. So make sure to keep posted with that.